But he was always nice to me. You know what I mean? Like Uncle Buddy, dude, I remember he would come up from Tampa and he'd come to Flint and he'd be like, man, what's up? Oh, my Terry, come here, Terry. And I remember I'd grab his arm because it was the biggest thing I ever seen. Just hold me up on his arm.
Yeah.
And I hang off his arm. And I said, this is how I got to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said, man, forget Superman, forget all the other heroes. I said, Uncle Buddy. That's the arms I want. So what I used to do when I was a kid, and coming from where we came from, I mean, I would sit in my room, man, and I would flex until my arms cramped up.
Wow.
Like they would cramp. Yep. Like, to the point where you could caught it, like, oh. And I said, they gotta grow. This is where I get when you're like, you talk about grow.
Yeah, buddy.
The way CT will be like, man, you will it into existence. and that's the thing. And let me tell you, once my mind connected with concepts, that was it. And they started to grow, and they've been like that since high school. And they just keep. And I never stop. Like I always keep going. And the thing is that my training has changed over the years, Before it was all about football and the whole thing. And now it's about health, man. Like I run 4 miles a day.
Man. I was going to ask you how your training has changed from when you were playing pro ball to what you're doing now. So
listen, I lift as heavy as I can. Okay. That's the thing. Like there's some days that are heavier than others. Sometimes you can hear, you tweak your back, you pull a hamstring, the arms feeling funny, you wake up with a limp.
Yep.
But this is the thing, man. One thing I realized is that once you warm up, all that goes away. Like you can start warming up and the whole thing, and all of a sudden I took the mindset of, all right, well, you're going to do what you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't overdo it. Listen, one time and let me tell you the horror story. I was trying to push it too much. And I remember lifting and doing all this crazy stuff. And man, my bicep popped right off my arm.
Oh.
Okay. It was my right bicep popped right off. And I couldn't believe it because I'm like, I love my arms. I couldn't believe it. This was around 2010. This is after football.
Wow.
But what was happening was I was comparing myself to other people, and you trying to do stuff outside of what you should be doing. You know what I mean? And the key is also listening to your body, listening to where you at that day. Because remember, man, and one thing I also learned is that you got to give yourself time.
Yes.
Give yourself time. You can't be it's like trying to brush your teeth once a year. You know what I mean? Like brush them hard one time and they'll be clean forever. That ain't how it works. You got to brush it every day.
Every day.
And I realized, man, I have to do the workout I can do every day.
Yep.
If I do the workout I can do every day, the gains are going to come. All this stuff is going to come. So what I started to do, even when my bicep popped off, they re-anchored it. This is where that little mark is. They put Kevlar in it.
Wow.
And re-anchored it through the back of my arm, and then the comeback can happen. Because this is another thing, is that it's always about the comeback.
Mm.
It's always, like I'm always in rehab. You always are coming back. Like, look, CT, you've been in the hospital the whole day, but it's always about the comeback.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's never about, it's not one big workout and all. It's always about healing. Because remember, that's the whole essence of you working out is that you tearing your muscles up and they coming back.
Yep.
And they come back a little bit bigger, come back a little bit stronger. But as I got older, I had to realize that endurance is probably the best thing you can ever have. You know what I mean? Like for me, I shifted from it's like shifting from the 100-yard dash to being able to run marathons.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And, it's funny because I don't know if you saw this, Usain Bolt just tore his
was his hamstring or
his Achilles.
His Achilles, okay.
Oh, wow.
You know, and I was hurt, but I was like, man, because I love Usain.
Yeah,
Usain is probably one of the best guys, but that's normal.
Yeah.
That's pretty. When you going that fast, your body probably just ain't gonna take it. You know what I mean? When you doing those things, but the key is the comeback and building your body up to endurance. Now, but the problem is that people feel like that's only for the young, and they feel like, well, I'm young, and well, that's it. So I'm older now, and it's time for me to stop. But the problem is, no, you can never ever stop.
Nope.
To me, it's like the pursuit of happiness. It's the happiness of pursuit.
Ooh.
It's the other way around.
Absolutely.
You see what I mean? It's like I learned to love the process. There's no destination. You know what I mean? It's not a moment when I'm fit and I'm done.
Oh.
It's always ongoing, nonstop. And the endorphins and the dopamine come from every morning. Here we go. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And even if it's a lighter one, even if the day is not as heavy as you used to be, because again, I can't lift the same stuff I lifted when I was 25, but it's the journey. Yep. You know what I mean? But I can tell you this, I could endure more than I did when I was 25.
Wow.
You see what I mean?
Yep,
absolutely.
All those lessons, all those comebacks, all those things. I know my endurance. I had no endurance when I was 25 years old. But when I at 55 right now, I can endure so much. Wow. I can endure. You'll never outwork me because I know I'll just keep going.
Yeah. Hey, I know that from experience. Terry was in there. Hey, Terry was in there pulling up the goddamn ground, man. I said, hey, this is ridiculous. But before you get out of here, I wanted to touch on Father's Day. Yep.